What? Last
No, it's gotta be
Steve.
Christine.
Oh,
Or Richard.
But anyway, introduce Mark.
Mark. Mark has been in Winter Haven a while. I think being Russian compliments him. I think he does a good job. He has risen up in Toastmasters quite fast. And he always takes a challenge. It's the language of courage. Let's welcome Mark. The language of courage.
Thank you.
Mark God.
Madam Toastmaster. My mom is always right.
Good.
And if you have any doubts, you have to meet my mom. When I was 8 years old, she told me, if you tell a man 100 times that he's a coward, he will become one. Mom, you tell me the stories. Can't believe this. It took me another 30 years to realize the value of those words. Now I believe that words create our reality. My first big discovery with words came from my childhood. Just like John have said, some of you know, I spent my childhood in Siberia. Some of you are probably thinking, what did he do to deserve to be sent to Siberia?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I did not go for the weather. I am the oldest of 4 children. 2 more boys and a girl after me. The winters in Siberia are cold. Cold, harsh, and dreary. And we were stuck inside the home for months and months on the end. What made it worse? Both of our parents worked, and we never saw them at home. So we couldn't wait for the winter to pass so we can go outside and play outside. One day, when the summer came, I had a brilliant idea, because I was a big brother and entrusted to care for my siblings. I said, kids, today we're gonna go visit our parents. Makes sense, right? I'm just 10 years old, it's a brilliant idea. There was only one problem. My younger brother, Artur, had autism. He lived in a world of fear and almost no words. If he can say one word a week or even a month, that was a miracle. Then I had another brilliant idea. Why don't I tell him stories of courage? Why don't I tell him stories of adventure? So instead of us going to see our parents, we're gonna go on a grand adventure. Instead of taking a bus, we will take a magic carpet ride. And the bus driver will be the wizard and the nobleman who will take us to treasure. After a while, inside his big brown eyes, I saw courage. Courage that was born out of stories of bravery. Artur has taught me the value and power of words. They are tools. The words and stories we tell are the instruments that we can use for our own change. I study language. I study the dynamics, the meaning, and the purpose of words. As I prepared for this talk, I discovered an interesting paradox in the English language. We have 2 words, fear and courage. Fear has 1,200 synonyms. You heard them before. Fear, tremor, trepidation, consternation, horror. Are you scared yet? You should be, it's Halloween. And my personal favorite is FOMO, fear of missing out. The word courage only has 600 synonyms. Bravery, audacity, serenity, fortitude, love. The ratio is 2 to 1. The language of fear is twice as big as the language of courage. That's a problem. What are we so afraid of that we have twice as many words to describe our fears? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of losing your job? Health? Your spouse? Or maybe gaining a few pounds? Why is it that we have that voice inside our head that says, hey, pay attention to me. There's a way to do better things. There's a way to do things better and get a better job. Make a better life for yourself. And what do we say? I don't know. It's too scary. Let me take a step back. Let me take a step back again. And then one more time. We take a step back until we're pushed against the wall and we look at our life and all we see is just a patchwork. A patchwork of moments of silence and defeat that is sewn together with fear. What are we so afraid of? So you're going to stand there afraid or take a step forward and find courage? Many of you know I have experienced a personal hurricane of fear in my life. I told this story many times. After achieving success, monumental failure, marriage, home, house, gone in an instant. I became homeless. I remember sitting on the couch of my friend's home thinking, how will I ever get out of this? That's when fear became real. Have you ever felt like that? We scare ourselves. The language of fear is twice as big as the language of courage. Luckily, I was able to connect and travel. The irony is not lost on me. I was homeless and I involved and I got myself in a program so I can build houses for people who are homeless in Washington State. They put me in a family to stay and live for free. In this family, mom, dad, 5 kids, a dog, and me. I felt the rhythm of their life. They took me around, showed me what courage really looks like. That scene that I always remember. We were on top of the Cascade Mountains, sitting around the fire. Pacific Ocean was to my left. Canadians' Rockies were just ahead. Dusk. I asked the mom of the host family, why did you open up your home to a stranger like me? Why did you take a risk on somebody you don't know, probably never see again? She looked at me and said, yes, we took a risk on you. Because sometimes you have to lose everything to find out who you really are. And then you get to decide the person you want to become. You have a choice. You have a choice to decide, replace, and to become. I invite you to be the courage warrior with words. I invite you to decide to change your language. Look fear straight in the eye and say, not today, my friend. Not today. And say yes to courage. Because courage lies at the heart of risking change. After you decide, replace. Remember what my mom said? Replace coward with hero and courage. Replace fear with audacity. Trepidation with strength. I tell the story. We travel through life. Fear will always come. Put it in the back seat. And just like John said, nobody likes the backseat driver. You say, fear, you will come with us. You will not tell us where to go. You will not tell us how to control the climate. And for goodness sakes, fear, you will not tell us what to play on the radio. Got it? Then you can come. First you decide, then you replace, and then you become. Because once you find courage, it makes all the other virtues possible. Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. I invite you to the possibility to become a courage warrior with words. The choice is yours. Thank you.